What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Sinister Bunny Studios, and welcome to another This week's Heavy Metal Monday has a handful of topics. I'm going to try to keep it short for today. I don't have much time to record this right now, but nevertheless, I want to get some news to you guys so that you can stay informed on all the cool shit that's happening in the world, in the metal world right now. So the first topic that I want to talk about is a band called Symphony X, a very speed metal, progressive metal type of band. One of my favorite bands of all time. They've put out some amazing stuff. Like my favorite album is like the Odyssey, which is like has a lot of stuff related to the actual Homer's original work of the Odyssey. So the Symphony X band itself has not released an album since 2015. I think some of the guys have done some side projects. I don't know them off the top of my head, but Symphony X, as they stand as a band, have not put anything out since 2015. So that's 5 years. But apparently, Mike LePond, their bassist, talked to Italy's Poison Rock, which must be some kind of news station within Italy, about the band's plans to work on the material for the follow-up to 2015's Underworld album, which is the album that came out in 2015, obviously. He said that, quote, "I think as soon as the virus stuff passes by and goes away, I think we'll start getting together and we'll start writing songs. I'm looking forward to writing songs because, as you know, we haven't done an album since 2015. The way we work is we're not the type of band that puts out an album every year because for us, the albums take so much work and we really want to try to make every song as great as possible. So a lot of times our fans, they get upset because we put out albums every 5 years. But once we do put the albums out, people are happy." Which, they got a point. A lot of their albums are very, very, very solid. They make some incredible music. If you have never listened to Symphony X, you need to go look them up. And specifically look up the Odyssey. There's one song from that album, I think it was from the Odyssey, I believe, that I used to listen to constantly when I was growing up. And it was called Unleash the Fire. Or Inferno. It might be called Inferno, parentheses, Unleash the Fire. Such a good song. So good. But last month, Symphony X announced that they rescheduled dates for its 25th anniversary North American tour. The 28-day trek, which was originally scheduled to kick off in Englewood, New Jersey on May 14th and conclude on June 17th at the Masquerade in Atlanta, will now take place in May and June 2021. Support on the trek will still come from Primal Fear and Firewind, which is cool. I never really listened to much Primal Fear, but I did have my, speed metal phase with Firewind. Firewind is a very kind of Dragon Force-y type of speed metal, if that makes sense. Because I was never a big Dragon Force person, but Firewind's really good too. Another one of those speed metal bands. Let's see, what else does this say? Oh, whoa! I didn't know this. Oh, we got sad news. I guess it's not new, but in July 2017, Symphony X vocalist Russell Allen and his Adrenaline Mob bandmates. That's what the other band was, Adrenaline Mob. I knew there was something on the tip of my tongue because Adrenaline Mob has Mike Portnoy from previously from Dream Theater and many other projects, Winery Dogs, and a couple different things. But Adrenaline Mob is one of them. That's where it's from. The vocalist from Symphony X was in Adrenaline Mob with drummer Mike Portnoy. I got that down. But anyway, Russell Allen and his Adrenaline Mob bandmates were involved in a crash that killed the group's bassist, David Zabludowski. Which I remember hearing about that now when that happened. So I guess it's not news, but I did hear about that when that happened. Last fall, Russell Allen, the vocalist, who has toured with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, I did not know that, was injured during the rehearsals for TSO's annual winter break and was unable to make the tour. So I guess he never did anything. I didn't know Trans-Siberian Orchestra had vocal parts in it. I guess that's news to me. But regardless, if Symphony X puts out something like this, Well, probably wouldn't be this year because who knows when this virus stuff is going to go away. But whenever Symphony X puts something out, I'm going to be on top of that like you would not believe. I love Symphony X's work. They're one of those progressive speed metal bands that I looked up to as a kid, and I still look up to because their music and the way they compose things is just so amazing. It's like somewhat on the level of what Dream Theater does, not in the sense of how progressive it is, but like the way that they compose and construct these huge epic pieces. It's really, 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 really good music, and if you have not ever had a chance to listen to them, definitely do so. Like, please do so. They're amazing, amazing, amazing musicians. In other words, or in other news, so a while back, I talked to you guys about me possibly doing some kind of podcast, and there's been a lot of different things in the works, and I just want to get a little more feedback from you guys. I want to ask you a question. So my idea with the podcast would be something that's obviously centered around metal, right? And I want to have guests on there. I don't want it to be just me talking to myself or to you guys. I want to have guests on there and have some cool interactions. So I have a main question. For those of you out there that watch this stuff, do you have any kind of connections or anything that could get some cool people in the metal world to talk to me? Like any kind of connection, like, a friend of a friend, or, hey, this is my cousin's brother's wife's friend's sister's brother or something like that. Like, just for me to be able to get in touch with some cool people in the metal world. They don't need to be crazy, like, you're John Petrucci, Dave Mustaine. Like, obviously, I'm not expecting that. But anybody in the metal world that would be very interesting to talk to, I'd be so open to having on, because that's what I want to do. And if I can't get that stuff, I don't know how realistic that podcast situation would be. But if I can get a lot of people lined up to get some interviews and talking to people, then that would be my main goal. So if you guys have any connections, definitely let me know, and maybe we can work something out. And that would be really, 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 really awesome. In other news, besides that, I have been working on a project for quite some time now, and you guys haven't seen many of my covers and stuff come out lately, because 1, I've been busy into the COVID stuff, and 3, I have been working on a cover. I haven't done any live streams of it or anything. Maybe I should when I'm working on it. But it's a cover, and I'm going to be entering a contest with it. So I've been trying to really polish it up. I haven't shot the video for it yet, but I'm hoping to do that either this week or next week and get it out. So there is a metal cover coming, so don't worry. I've just been working on it for quite some time, trying to get it to sound right and everything, because it is going to be entered into a contest, and I want it to sound good for you guys. But the contest is through Glenn Fricker from Spectre Sound Studios. He's doing the oldies but baddies thing. He's done it before. It's like nasty 90s edition, so he wants people to take a really kind of cringe poppy song from the 90s that's just like meh, and he wants you to transform it and make it better. And do something cool with one, like doing a metal cover situation. So that's what I'm doing. So that's as much of a hint as probably I'll give you. It's a song from the 90s. It's a very poppy kind of song, and it's from the 90s. I think I've done a cool thing with it. It's definitely metal now, like transferred into metal, and I did my best to replicate some of the essence of the original writers of the music, or performers of the music. So don't freak out, because I do have covers and stuff that I've been working on, and original music, a lot of original music. I have some plans with my original music that I can't just announce right away, but I'm not just sitting around doing nothing, just to let you guys know. There is a big cover coming, hopefully within the next week or two, and I've got a lot of original stuff, but I don't have a planned set release date for that kind of stuff just yet. And I'm waiting on a couple other things to be able to do some more content for video wise, as in like Will It Metal stuff and review things and videos of that type, not the performance music release type, other kind of videos. But like I said, yeah, don't worry, there's a cover coming soon, so be ready for some metal of a song that was not originally metal. which is fun to do. Anyway, I'm rambling on now. I think it's gone for too long, and I wanted to keep this short. So, like I always say, thank you guys so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I forgot my recommendation. My recommendation is this. Dave Mustaine's new book, Rust in Peace. If you have not read it or have not picked yourself up a copy, definitely do so. I got myself a signed copy, which is nice, and I should have a shirt coming in the mail soon. But anyway, I've started reading it. I'll talk about it more when I finish it. If you have not picked it up or read it, definitely do so. But like I always say, thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I will see you in the next video. Stay metal, my friends.